So you're writing your book, you've taken the leap, you've got your first draft going, and I am going to lay down the rules I like to use on my mentorships for authors beginning their book writing process. And the very first rule is know thy genre. Do not begin to plan and expansively expand your book unless you know what you're writing. And by that, literally, I mean on which category of Amazon or on what shelf in a bookshop will your book be stocked. So I expand on this in so many videos, but please know, don't begin until you know that. Rule number 2 is I really like you to stick to a basic word editor. Now, I know they're fabulous packages. People tell me they write in Scrivener. Of course, people write in Evernote or in project management software. But the rule of a first draft in my world is I want you to have it in one document. Use your formatting, use your headings, but please don't have a million folders of a book. It doesn't allow flow. It doesn't allow a word count. So Microsoft Word, Google Docs, something where you have a single document. If it's very big, you can break it into 2 or part 3, but try and keep your document as a flow. Rule number 3 is try and write a scene in a sitting, which means when you've got your table of contents or your scene list in a novel or in a memoir, allocate your time, and when you sit down, start that and finish that. So it can be 1,000 words, it can be up to 4,000 words. But what does happen is you can get into a flow, it's what we call the muse. But if you break that, if halfway through the scene you disappear, if you think I'm going to come back later, chances are you don't. So try and begin and complete a scene or a chapter, I suppose, in one sitting. And here's the one that I'm going to call the most important rule of writing your first draft. It's my rule number 5. It should be my rule number 1. No editing of your own work. These are the writers who can't move forward. Is you perfect and you sculpt and you make it better and you correct the spelling and you tweak and you refine the first 3 chapters and you never move forward. So in my mentorships, I push you to a word count goal. Start at the beginning. Start first scene, second scene, third scene. You're starting to build 5,000 words, 10,000 words, 15,000 words, 20,000 words. You're still at the beginning of your book. When you kick over that 40,000 word mark, something starts to happen. The book starts to take form. But what I do find is that most writers get stuck on the first 3 chapters. So please don't read your day's work. Just keep moving forward. Please remember your first draft is an assembly of thoughts. It is not the final version. And if you self-edit, you're going to be stuck. And my final rule for now is please do not read any books that are similar to the one you are writing. Do not read anything even vaguely similar because it will pollute your thinking process. So over the time that you're writing, do something else. Read a completely different book style, but do not, because in these 2 years it's going to take you to write your book. You don't want other people's thoughts creeping into your mind. You don't want their structure to start becoming your structure, and you don't want their style to become yours, because your book is unique and it's yours, and your voice and your tone are what matters.